Thank you, everybody. Good evening, respected dignitaries on and off the dais, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Rashmi Ann, Executive Assistant to the Executive Director, and it is my privilege to serve as your Master of Ceremony for this evening. It fills me with immense joy to welcome you all to this beautiful evening, a celebration of new beginnings, fresh opportunities, and shared aspirations. Tonight marks a special occasion, one that brings us together in the spirit of growth, collaboration, and a promising future. Let us embark on this journey with enthusiasm and optimism, cherishing the moments that lie ahead. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to each one of you. Before we start, let us all rise up and look to our Lord in prayer.
സ്വരൂപാ കനിവോടരുളുക പ്രാണനു നിത്യം പുതുജീവൻ പാലനമേകുക കൃപയാലാതുര നിലയം ശാന്തി പുണർന്നിടുവാൻ പകരും സ്പർശം വഴിയായി സന്തതമരുളണമാരോഗ്യം മിഴികൾ തുറക്കും ദീപസമാനം തഴുകിയുണർത്തുക ചൈതന്യം പ്രണവസ്വരൂപ കനിവോടരുളുക പ്രാണനു നിത്യം പുതുജീവൻ.
Thank you. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Dr. George Paul, who serves as the head of the Department of Geriatric Medicine and the Internal Medicine Training Program Director appointed by the Joint Royal Colleges of Physicians of the United Kingdom. His leadership and expertise have been instrumental in shaping the trajectory of internal medicine training program at our institution. This evening, he will briefly provide an overview of the internal medicine training program of the Royal Colleges of Physicians and its partnership with Rajagiri Hospital, tracing our journey from where we started, where we stand today, and the path that lies ahead. Now, without further ado, it is my honor to invite Dr. George Paul to officially welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Rashmi, for that introduction. Respected Executive Director of Rajagiri Hospital, Father Johnson, our Chief Guest, Honorable Member of Indian Parliament, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Deputy International Medical Director, Dr. Jane Wallace, Member of the Hospital Advisory Board, Chartered Accountant Venugopal C. Govind, and our Medical Director, Gigi Kuritugulam, members of the Hospital Advisory Board, members of the Hospital Governing Council, my colleagues, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you as we gather here for the inauguration function of the Rajagiri IMT program. Before I go to my primary responsibility of welcoming everybody, I would like to give you a comprehensive overview of Rajagiri IMT program. Although IMT program is well known in UK, very few people here know about its international presence and its implications to the stakeholders. Even in our medical community, those who know about this training course is far and few. Postgraduate medical specialty training in United Kingdom is designed and executed by the Federation of the three Royal Colleges, namely London, Edinburgh and Glasgow. The training wing of the Federation is called Joint Royal Colleges of Physicians Training Board. Internal medicine training, both national and international, comes directly under them. During the 2016-17 period, the training board started running IMT program in few international sites, which include Iceland, Dubai and India. This is being done under the direct supervision of the training board with the curriculum and the monitoring system exactly same as in UK. Medical specialty training in UK is conducted in 2 stages. Stage 1 is the internal medicine training for 3 years, along with the coaching for all 3 parts of the MRCP examinations. This is what we are starting here in Rajagiri Hospital. On successful completion of this IMT program, along with the attainment of all 3 parts of MRCP examination, the trainee has 3 options to choose. 1. Continue in the training pathway they are already in by applying for the stage 2 subspecialty training in UK along with the UK candidates, and if they are selected, they can proceed to the UK to complete the subspecialty training, which is for 4 years. So this is a medical specialty in United Kingdom is for a total of 7 years. So we are only going to start the first 3 years. The second 4 years has to be in the United Kingdom. On successful completion of this training, they are eligible for the certificate of completion of training. They commonly call it CCT. And with that, they are ready to apply for a consultant post in United Kingdom National Health Service. So it takes about 4 years of course, 2 years of house surgery, 3 years of internal medicine training and 4 years of specialty training to become a consultant in United Kingdom. The option 2 is they can practice in India as a postgraduate physician, since Medical Registration Authority in India has accepted MRCP equivalent to Indian MD. And option 3, they can practice in other countries like Gulf states with a higher salary. I personally think that the greatest advantage for candidates who enter the international IMT program is that they have already entered into the medical specialty training pathway staying in their own country, which was not possible before the international IMT program. So whichever way we look at it, it's a win-win situation for the candidate. Rajagiri as an organization as well as a brand has always been in pursuit of excellence in education. This journey has taken us from Chunangamveli in Alua to 11 St. Andrews Place, Regent's Park in London on 11 September 2024. We are particularly delighted to have the support of the Royal Colleges of Physicians, whose legacy of leadership in medical education, clinical practice and research is renowned worldwide. 6 months down the lane, here we are on this beautiful evening, celebrating our partnership with the esteemed Federation of the Royal Colleges of Physicians and witnessing the inaugural ceremony of Rajagiri IMT program. This partnership has created a platform that not only ensures high quality training, but also fosters an environment to equip our trainees with knowledge, competence and ethical foundation, upholding the values of compassion, integrity and excellence in clinical care. The formal Rajagiri internal medicine training will start on 1st of August 2025. Initially, we will be recruiting only 6 candidates based on their NEET score and interview marks. Hopefully, we will have 12 or more candidates from 2026 depending on our first year's performance. Our online application forms are ready on our website, which will be officially launched this evening by our guest speaker, Dr. Jain Balas. A local faculty group has been constituted from the senior consultants currently working in Rajagiri Hospital, and they will be given 3 days of formal training by the designated educators coming from London Royal College in the month of June. Another formality to be completed is the Rajagiri Hospital site inspection by the Royal College, which is planned for the 19th of May 2025. With that, all formalities being fulfilled, the Rajagiri IMT team will be ready and willing looking forward for the commencement of the formal training on 1st August 2025. This day would not have been possible without the strong support, encouragement and guidance of 3 directors. At this juncture, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Professor David Black, who is the International Medical Director. Professor David Black is the recipient of British National Honour MBE, which is the member of the Order of British Empire, for his outstanding service to the profession and society. Unfortunately, he couldn't physically attend today's function due to his prior commitments. However, I believe he is attending this function virtually live from London. I would also like to thank Dr. Jane Wallace, the Deputy International Medical Director, for her strong support and encouragement for the Rajagiri project. Last but not the least, I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to our Executive Director, Father Johnson, for his strong leadership, incredible support and amazing enthusiasm, all of which have made a significant impact on me personally and on the team as a whole. Now, let me come back to my primary duty. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Rajagiri Hospital Director, Father Johnson. Before I welcome our chief guest this evening, I would like a few moments to take myself back to 2003 in the month of March, which is exactly 22 years ago. That was the time when the second Gulf War started. I was working in UK at that time, and having participated in the first Gulf War while working in the Northern Area Armed Forces Hospital in Saudi Arabia near Kuwait border, I was very keen on the progress of this war. Every evening, religiously, I sit in front of the television, watching the channel for 7 o'clock news. By about 7:10, 7:15, a handsome face appear on the left top hand corner of the television screen, answering the questions and queries of the news anchor, Mr. Jon Snow, in a calm, collected, and in an absolutely meticulous fashion, using the finest of words selected from the English language. Dr. Shashi Tharoor was the Under Secretary General for Communication and Public Information in United Nations at that time. Those are some of the moments which made me feel proud to be an Indian. Instantly, I became an admirer of Dr. Tharoor, probably one of the earliest among his millions of admirers, both nationally and internationally. We are very fortunate to have Dr. Shashi Tharoor this evening with us to inaugurate our Rajagiri IMT program. On behalf of the entire Rajagiri family, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Next is our esteemed guest speaker, who is the Deputy International Medical Director, Dr. Jane Wallace. She was on a skiing holiday in Geneva when I sent her the invitation for today's function. She flew from Geneva to London, to Doha, to Kochi, and believe it or not, she reached our airport 3:15 this afternoon just to attend our function. Both of us have known each other for over 10 years, and our common meeting ground usually is the MRCP PACES Examination Center in Chennai. We are very fortunate to have her here this evening with us, and I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Jane Wallace. Our Hospital Advisory Board member, Chartered Accountant Venugopal C. Govind, we all fondly call him BCG. He doesn't need any special introduction. His name is very popular and familiar in the fields of education, finance, and charity organizations, especially the Rotary movement. We have known each other for nearly 20 years, ever since I joined Rotary Club of Cochin in 2006. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Also, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Medical Director, Dr. Gigi Kurutugulam, who is also an integral part of Rajagiri IMT program. I would like to welcome the esteemed members of the Hospital Advisory Board and Hospital Governing Council members, see my fathers who have gathered here, and my friends and colleagues from Rajagiri Hospital and away. Once again, a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that brief and comprehensive briefing and for the warm welcome that you've extended to everybody. It is my honor and privilege to now invite our beloved and esteemed Executive Director and CEO, Reverend Father Johnson Warpley, CMI, a visionary leader, to deliver the presidential address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a momentous occasion for us for two reasons. First, it marks a significant milestone in the journey of Rajagiri Hospital with the inauguration of the IMT program by the Royal College of Physicians. Second, we are honored by the presence of two distinguished guests, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Honorable Member of the Parliament, and Dr. Jane Wallace, Deputy International Medical Director, Training and Development, Federation of the Royal College of Physicians of UK. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Rajagiri Hospital is a unit of the Rajagiri Healthcare and Education Trust. The construction began in 2011, followed by the launch of outpatient services in 2014 and inpatient operations in 2015, marking our humble beginnings. By God's grace, we are now in our 10th year of service. From the outset, we aspire to establish a Center for Medical Education, given Rajagiri's strong legacy in the field of education. However, various factors, including the political climate in the state and the NMC guidelines for Kerala, which regulate the ratio of doctors to the population, presented challenges in achieving this goal. Despite these obstacles, we remained committed to our mission and sought opportunities to contribute to medical education. As a result, we introduced DNB courses and multiple fellowship programs across various specialities. Currently, we have DNB postgraduation in anesthesiology, general medicine, OB and gynec, pathology, surgery, pediatrics, respiratory medicine, and radiodiagnosis. We also have DRNB, Doctorate of National Board, in critical care medicine, urology, medical oncology, and medical gastroenterology, and FNB, Fellowship of National Board in arthroplasty. All these courses come under the National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences. We offer postdoctoral institutional fellowships in stroke and interventional neurology, arthroscopy and arthroplasty, spine surgery, postdoctoral fellowship in rhinology, pediatric neurology, interventional pulmonology, and hepatobiliary interventional radiology. In addition to these, we provide postdoctoral fellowship recognized by professional bodies in neonatology, craniomaxillofacial trauma, neurocritical care, IDCCM, and a Master of Emergency course at our hospital. In the same spirit, we identified the need for internal medicine training and saw an opportunity to prepare students for the MRCP program. We took this initiative forward with the invaluable support of Dr. George Paul. At this juncture, I would like to extend my best wishes to him as he takes on the role of IMT Program Director. I also wish to thank and congratulate Dr. Renji Jose on assuming the position of Deputy Program Director. I would also like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the Federation of Royal College of Physicians of UK for their steadfast support throughout this journey. Furthermore, the presence of the advisory board members of Rajagiri Hospital and our esteemed honorary directors makes this event even more special. Their leadership and vision continue to inspire and guide us in our pursuit of excellence. Once again, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests, the advisory board, honorary directors, fathers, all the fathers, executive council members, and our distinguished audience for being part of this special occasion. Your presence and support make this milestone even more meaningful. Wish you all success and prosperity in the days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. The most momentous highlight of the evening is upon us. I now have the distinct honor of inviting Dr. Shashi Tharoor, esteemed Member of Parliament, to formally declare Rajagiri Hospital as an accredited center for internal medicine training under the esteemed aegis of the Federation of the Royal Colleges of Physicians of the United Kingdom by unveiling the IMT certificate on the left side of the stage. May I request the dignitaries on the dais to accompany Dr. Tharoor towards the stand. I will call you on stage, sir. I have a brief written for you. I have to say it out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an unparalleled honor to introduce a polymath of extraordinary intellect, eloquence, and global stature, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. A distinguished statesman, erudite scholar, and an orator par excellence, Dr. Tharoor has indelibly shaped contemporary discourse on governance, diplomacy, and literature. His illustrious career spans nearly 4 decades, encompassing an extensive tenure at the United Nations, where he ascended to the prestigious rank of Under-Secretary General, followed by a transition into Indian public life as a 4-term Member of Parliament representing Thiruvananthapuram. He also has held ministerial portfolios as Minister of State for External Affairs and Minister of State for Human Resource Development. At present, the chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on External Affairs, his indefatigable advocacy for progressive reform, social justice, and international cooperation has cemented his reputation as one of India's most compelling and articulate voices on the global stage. Beyond the realm of politics, Dr. Tharoor is a literary luminary, having authored over 20 critically acclaimed books spanning history, politics, and cultural critique. His prodigious command over language, coupled with a wit as sharp as it is refined, has rendered him one of the most formidable intellectuals of our time. His exceptional contributions have been recognized through numerous prestigious accolades, including the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award, the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, Raman Magsaysay Award nomination, GQ Inspiration Award, Sahitya Academy Award. In 2012, the King of Spain bestowed on him the Encomienda de la Real Orden Española de Carlos III, the Spain's highest civilian honor, And in 2022, the government of France also conferred on him their highest civilian honor, the Chevalier de la Légion d'honneur. In February 2024, in recognition of his phenomenal parliamentary performance, Dr. Tharoor was honored with the Lokmat Best Parliamentarian of the Year award. A raconteur of unparalleled finesse, a statesman of unwavering conviction, and an intellectual whose profundity transcends disciplines, Dr. Tharoor is a beacon of erudition and progressive thought. It is with great privilege and great applause that we welcome Dr. Shashi Tharoor to the stage to address the gathering.
Thank you for those very generous words. I'm very appreciative. Between you and Dr. George Paul, you've been wonderful for my morale today. Thank you. Distinguished guests, esteemed members of the medical fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, friends, I hope that covers everybody. It's both a privilege and a pleasure to be here today at Rajagiri Hospital, I must confess, for the very first time, as we gather to mark a milestone in medical education and patient care. The official declaration of this esteemed institution as a centre for internal medicine training under the joint Royal College of Physicians Training Board in the UK. Now, this is not merely an inauguration, it's also a celebration of knowledge, dedication, and the unwavering pursuit of excellence. Rajagiri Hospital has been, in a very short time, about a decade or so since its inception, acquired a formidable reputation for combining cutting-edge medical technology with the highest standards of compassionate care. It now joins an elite group of international centers, including Dubai, Iceland, and select premier institutions in our own country, bringing world-class medical training to our shores. Medicine, as we all know, is not just a profession. It's a sacred trust, a covenant between healer and the healed. The Bible reminds us in Proverbs 17 to 22, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. A doctor's duty is not only to cure, but to heal, not only to diagnose, but to comfort, to uncrush that spirit of the patient. In the modern world, we've all too often been consumed by efficiency, by forms, protocols, and the cold arithmetic of medical statistics and data. Yet, amidst all this, let's never forget that we are here to treat human beings, not pieces of paper, not digits of data. Rabindranath Tagore once famously wrote that faith is the bird that feels the light when the dawn is still dark. Every patient who walks into a hospital carries that faith, that the doctor before them is not just a custodian of medical knowledge, but a guardian of hope, the one who shows them that glimmer of light when the dawn for them has darkened immeasurably with their illness. There's much, of course, that medical technology has given us. Robotic surgeries, AI-driven diagnostics, precision medicine. I know Rajagiri has been acquiring all of this. Yet the most powerful tool in a doctor's arsenal remains the simplest. A kind word, a reassuring touch, a listening ear. For in the end, what uplifts a patient most, I think, is not just medicine, but the smile of the caregiver, a smile that uplifts all. The great physician Albert Schweitzer once said, "The purpose of human life is to serve and to show compassion and the will to help others." And what is medicine, if not the highest form of service? I know I don't need to preach this at Rajagiri of all places, but you embody these values and principles. And so I thought that issuing this fitting reminder might not be inappropriate. Kerala is often hailed as a model for public health in our country, with its robust healthcare infrastructure and impressive health indicators. Our state has the highest life expectancy at 75, which is above the biblical 70, the lowest infant mortality rate in the country, a near universal literacy rate that contributes to effective health awareness. We saw during COVID how effective local communities were in getting the message across and preventing the spread of the illness. Its primary healthcare system ensures accessible and affordable healthcare. Kerala has also excelled in maternal and child health, disease control, and effective pandemic management. And we've seen that not just during COVID, which I've already mentioned, but during the Nipah virus outbreak. But despite these achievements, we all know that Kerala faces significant public health challenges. The rising burden of non-communicable diseases, such as diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases, the so-called lifestyle diseases, growing in our state, has become a major concern, driven, of course, by lifestyle changes all over the country, and Kerala is no exception, but particularly bad for us, an aging population. As I was pointing out the other day, if we'd had a census in 2021, which, as you know, was skipped because of the COVID pandemic, we would almost certainly have been the first and only state in the country to have registered a decline in population from the previous census. That's where we're heading, and so those who are around are growing old, while those who might have addressed the statistical balance are simply not being born. Additionally, the over-reliance on private healthcare, increasing out-of-pocket expenses, and a shortage of specialist doctors in rural areas pose challenges to equitable healthcare access. Emerging infectious diseases and environmental health issues, including vector-borne diseases and pollution, have further tested the resilience of our state's health system. So while Kerala remains a leader in health outcomes, continuous policy innovation and investment in preventive healthcare, geriatric care, and mental health services are essential for sustaining and improving its achievements. And I mention all this because we're all conscious that when Rajagiri gets involved in medicine, it is to achieve and maintain the highest standards, but also to rise into the spirit of medical care that I've tried to outline to you. As medicine has been advancing, so too have the ethical dilemmas of the field. As technology moves ahead, we're developing new challenges to what is right for doctors to do. Some of these issues ranging from the genetically engineered babies we read about to the phenomenon of suicide tourism in countries that enable euthanasia. All these have brought humanity to the very edge of its moral compass, forcing us to ask difficult questions about life, death, and dignity. We must navigate these complexities with wisdom, guided not only by medical science, but by truth, transparency, and trust. And I know Rajagiri is a place where we can rely on such an approach. Doctors, of course, walk a fine line themselves. To heal, they must feel. But to remain strong, they must not be overwhelmed by emotion. Economizing on emotions does not mean indifference. It means finding the delicate balance between professionalism and empathy, between resilience and kindness. This balance is crucial because, if I can quote Tagore one last time, death is not extinguishing the light, it is only putting out the lamp because the dawn has come. In medicine, we must accept that while we cannot always change the outcome, we can always change the experience. We all know the cliche that sometimes doctors cannot add days to your life, but they can add life to your days. A doctor's role is not merely to fight death, but to ensure that life, no matter how fleeting, is lived with dignity, met with compassion, and provided with care. A doctor's duty is not just to treat ailments, but to inspire the patient to find their own strength. A true healer does not merely restore health, but reignites hope. This is why one might argue that doctors are not merely caregivers, but cheerleaders. A doctor is one who infuses courage in the weak, reassurance in the anxious, and restores peace to the suffering. The darkness will not be allowed to prevail. It is a human spirit which must triumph. As we move forward, let us build a world where healthcare is not dictated by machines alone, but enriched by human warmth, where we minimize formality and maximize humanity, where we do not merely cure, but heal. And as we inaugurate Rajagiri Hospital as an IMT center, let this not just be an academic milestone, but a renewed commitment to compassionate care. Let this institution be a beacon where the next generation of doctors is trained not just in the art of medicine, but in the craft of humanity. With immense pride and optimism, therefore, I formally declare this Rajagiri Hospital as a center in internal medicine training, in the internal medicine training program of the Royal College of Physicians in the UK. With these words, I am delighted to formally declare this initiative launched, and may the 1st of August 2025 mark the inspiration of a new era of healing, one where science meets soul, and where medicine is guided above all by simple, profound act of compassionate care. Thank you all very much. My very best wishes to Rajagiri. Jai Hind.
I'm sure that Rajagiri will live up to those expectations. While I've enjoyed watching you on TV, it is a dream come true for me and probably for many of us to watch you here and hear you live today, sir. We are honored to have with us today Dr. Jane Wallace, Deputy International Medical Director, Training and Development, Federation of the Royal Colleges of Physicians of UK. She has been a geriatrician at Northumbria Foundation Trust since 2012. She has had a strong interest in education and training and has been the training program director for IMT in the northeast of England since 2015. Jane has driven improvements leading to the region being ranked highest nationally for overall satisfaction for the last 3 years and led on a package of support to improve the training experience of international medical graduates. She has co-chaired the National IMT Advisory Committee since December 2020 and helped introduce a variety of initiatives to improve the quality of training throughout the UK. Jane is a council member and trustee for the Royal Colleges of Edinburgh and their representative in the Medical Workforce Unit. She is a PACES host, chair and examiner and an international PACES examiner and has been on the PACES Scenario Editorial Committee. In January 2025, she started as Federation Deputy International Medical Director for Training and Development. Dr. Wallace, it is our privilege to have you here for this significant occasion. May I now invite you to the stage to officially launch the IMT website and then deliver the guest speech. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Wallace. The stage is all yours, Jane.
I'm very pleased that worked. So I'm really, really delighted to be here. I wasn't meant to arrive at 3:15 this afternoon. There's been a variety of challenges over the last 26 hours that it's taken me to get here. But I'm so pleased I made it. And when I look around the room and I see the commitment and enthusiasm for this program, it makes me even more pleased. I raced across Doha Airport and made my connection. I want to say a special thank you to Father Johnson and Dr. George Paul for their very kind invitation to come today, and also to Shashi Tharoor for making this an extra special occasion, although I don't think it's very good for my morale to come after such an esteemed speaker. So I don't know who did the program, but thank you for that. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Federation. So the Federation is the 3 Royal Colleges of Physicians in the UK working together. So that's Edinburgh, Glasgow and London. And our goal is to provide the highest standards of education and training to deliver the best possible patient care. All the colleges are pretty old. All 3 of them are between 400 and 500 years old, and King Charles is our patron. So we have 3 main pillars of work. The first is exams, which you've heard a little bit about. So MRCP UK is the real flagship exam, and it has worldwide recognition. We also run written exams in over 50 countries. So that's the Part 1 and Part 2, which are the written aspects of MRCP UK. But there's also specialty exams that we run. And we run PACES, which is the clinical part of MRCP UK, in nearly 30 international centres. And I'm pleased to report India is very much leading the way in the number of international PACES centres. The Federation also deliver continuing professional development, and that's really a commitment to deliver very high quality education, and not just in the UK, but internationally. And in the last few years, we're seeing really brilliant development where actually it's the international hosts delivering education worldwide under the Federation. So that's nice to see. The third aspect is training and assessment. And this came about because there's a recognition that exams are important, but they're not everything, they're not enough if we want the absolutely highest quality physicians we can have. The Federation introduced the concept of competency-based education. So that's when doctors are assessed, their skills are developed, and their performance improved. Professor Black, who can't be here today, sadly, was at absolute forefront of developing and implementing this in the UK. And he's been the driving force between the international elements of this. I think he's actually live streaming to check I arrived because I don't think he thought I was ever going to get here. So Professor Black, I hope you're listening, and I'm here. I'll touch a little bit more on what internal medical training is. So as we've heard, it's a 3-year core program for physicians, which is competency-based. So there's a very clear curriculum with very specific capabilities. The trainee doctors are very closely supervised, they get a lot of feedback, and it develops those skills and competencies. There's some very particular aspects of the program: intensive care, outpatient clinic, simulated training, but 2 elements that are absolutely crucial, particularly in light of the last talk, is elderly care and palliative care is a really big part of the program, and that sounds like that's just going to become more and more relevant for your population. As we've mentioned, you need full MRCP to complete the program successfully. All trainees have an annual review by a whole panel of physicians to monitor their progress, assess their progress, and provide guidance. And on completion, you can enter your higher specialty training. So on to our international partnerships. So these started in 2014, and the concept behind this is locally delivered, world-class, UK equivalent competency-based education. So that is what this whole program is about. And we have 10 sites, but very soon to be 11, 8 of which are in India, as mentioned, 1 in Dubai and 1 Iceland. And we've got nearly 270 trainees in the program at the moment, and there's a very close working relationship between our partners and the Federation. So how do we choose a new partner? So you've heard a lot about the program, and you won't be surprised to hear it is an awful amount of time, work, and commitment to get this program up and running, to the extent that the Federation can only work with 1 new partner a year, because it's really important we get it right and we commit to it fully. There's a very rigorous assessment process, and the decision is signed off by the International Management and Policy Board at the Federation. And I'm absolutely delighted that Rajagiri was chosen for our 2025 partner. The Federation were hugely impressed by the enthusiasm and the commitment to deliver world-class education at Rajagiri. And that has come from the highest level in the institution, and that was very, very clear from the first meeting. And I have to say, being here today just reassures me that we absolutely made the right decision. There's absolute drive to make this a success at the very senior level at the hospital. And that absolute drive was seen today in getting me through the airport in 15 minutes to get me here in time. So that was a really good demonstration of the can-do attitude that we've seen. This is also our first collaboration with a not-for-profit organisation. And there's also the benefit of a local partner. So Astamed City runs the IMT programme, and Geetha and her team have started a programme with a really excellent reputation. And I think there could be some real benefits of collaborative working between local centres and shared learning. So this is no small undertaking, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that so you really understand, you know, the journey that we're on at the moment. And that journey started a good few months ago. There's a steering group of very senior physicians in the hospital here. As we've mentioned, Dr. George Paul is a training programme director. But there's also lots of other people involved. There's an administrator. There's a whole host of educational supervisors and clinical supervisors who are senior physicians. You've got to plan delivering a whole new programme. And some of those aspects will be slightly less embedded than they might be in the UK, like elderly care and palliative care. We use an e-portfolio system, which will be completely new to trainees and supervisors. And there are very strict standards that we have to be assured that are met and maintained. There's an educational package that needs to be delivered, and that includes support for the trainees to achieve their full MRCP. And as part of the programme, trainees get 2 ring-fence places in the PACES exam, which can be quite hard to come by. And not least, you need to recruit some brilliant trainees. And it's fabulous to see that the website has been launched today. The important thing to say is none of this is done alone. There's really close working between the Federation and our partners. There's myself and Professor Black, as I've mentioned, but there's also a whole education team and a whole support team at the Federation to help make this happen. We run an annual development day. So we've got 3 representatives. It's in the beautiful city of Edinburgh in June. So Father Johnson's coming, Dr. George Paul is coming, and Dr. Renji's coming as a Deputy Programme Director. And I can't wait to welcome you all there. It's a really fabulous day, and Edinburgh is a gorgeous city in the sunshine, which it might not be. There's a senior educational faculty that come here and do 3 days of intensive education for the supervisors. So everyone is on board with what's involved and what needs to be done. Myself and Professor Black are coming back in May, and the Chief Executive of the Federation, Rachel O'Flynn, is also coming. And if that is successful, which I'm pretty confident it will be, we give 1-year provisional accreditation. And Rajagiri is already listed on our website as a future partner. There is then ongoing annual visits from a senior physician from the Federation. That is partly to help oversee that annual review of competency progression, which is the annual assessments all the trainees need to have. But also that visiting physician from the UK meets every single trainee face-to-face on a one-on-one meeting. And sometimes that's advice about the programme, careers advice, more general advice, but that's a really valuable part of it as well. There's also a 3-year accreditation rolling cycle, so that will start from this August, and that is when the team comes back and makes sure those standards are being met, maintained, and I suspect improved. There's an annual survey we do, which again is to drive improvements. So this isn't ever about just getting it right and staying there, it's continually striving to improve. And as I said, if candidates successfully complete the programme, one of their options is applying for a higher specialty training in the UK, and they have a UK accredited internal medical training programme to do that with. So I hope that's a bit of an overview of just how much work and commitment has gone into this venture. It's been led at a senior level, but I also want to mention a few others of the senior team who've been really involved. So Dr. Gigi, Dr. Jacob, Dr. Renji, and Dr. Sunny. So thank you to them. They've been involved in lots of our meetings on Teams. We've managed to find a time of day which suits everyone. And I did ask Dr. George for a list of all the educational supervisors and clinical supervisors because I wanted to thank you individually. The list was so long, I couldn't read it all out. But that speaks absolute volumes to me about the commitment of Rajagiri Hospital to this programme. So I thank you. And my other comment for all of you who volunteered to be supervisors is our feedback from the other partners is not only is it enjoyable, but your own professional development is enhanced by being part of this programme. So finally, what are the next steps? Well, I wish you a lot of luck with your recruitment. I hope you get some great candidates. We've got our May visit and ongoing close working, sadly not in person other than in May. We've got the educational team visit in the summer, in June, as we mentioned, and then the programme starts in August. So there's a really busy few months ahead. But I just want to finish by saying the Federation really have been hugely impressed by the Rajagiri faculty. And I have every confidence this partnership is going to be a great success for all partners. So that's the Federation, Rajagiri Hospital, but also the Kochi community that you serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jain, for that wonderful speech, and we are also glad that you could finally make it here today. I am truly honored to invite CA Venugopal C. Govind sir, respected advisory board member of Rajagiri Hospital, to share his felicitations. His wisdom and guidance are invaluable, and we are eagerly awaiting his inspiring words on this special occasion.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Good evening. Honorable Member of our Parliament, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, our distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Jain Wallace, Deputy International Medical Director of the Federation of Royal Federation of Physicians, College of Physicians, distinguished Executive Director and CEO of Rajagiri Hospital, Father Johnson, my good friends, Dr. George Paul and Dr. Gigi Kurutugulam, members of my colleagues in the advisory board chaired by Honorable Justice Kurian Joseph and others here, very distinguished members of the medical fraternity of Rajagiri Hospital, and my friends. Truly, it's a very, very significant day today. We are all extremely honored, delighted, proud to witness a moment of such great significance. Rajagiri Hospital is known for its excellence, outstanding qualities in practically every aspect of its journey in the last 10 years itself. I don't think there is any other hospital in and around Cochin which in such a short time of 10 years have made such great milestones, forays into various areas and have achieved success in all respects. Guided by the ever-inspiring Father Johnson, Father medical CEO, Father Johnson Varapalli, Father Johnson Varapalli, who has a humongous appetite for excellence and perfection in every respect. This institution has been growing from strength to strength. Truly, medical education has been a milestone in this country. Going forward from the ordinary medical MBBS days, we have achieved great amount of success in medical education. We have several institutions which have produced MD, MS, DM, MCH and all that. But still, there are close to 10 lakhs, 50,000 doctors or so, of which only hardly 5 or 8% are having the post-graduation diploma or qualification. So, opening up the gates or a pathway to an international educational qualification like MRCP is certainly a very great achievement, and I have no doubt about it that under the great leadership of Father Johnson Varapalli, this institution will grow from heights to heights. The most important thing is that, in the last few years itself, you would have noticed how Rajagiri Hospital has achieved several milestones. They had hardly 3 years ago, we had the Comprehensive Center for Cancer Center, where we had introduced the bone marrow transplant suite for very precise, rapid and precise radiotherapy, which is a huge success, which is setting milestones again. And we had hardly a few months ago, less than 1 year, we had the very important large robotic assisted surgery center with Da Vinci Xi machine, most modern, installed, and which is now catering to robotic surgery in practically all the departments, urology, gastroenterology, cardiology, and all that. And then we had the milestone record of the hospital achieving nearly 600 knee transplants per year since the last 3 years or so. Now, these have been great achievements which have been actually won by this hospital in a short span of time. Therefore, we have no doubt about that. In the years ahead, this IMT training center also will scale much greater heights and will be able to serve a large number of medical doctors who are aspiring to be very qualified, highly qualified medical practitioners with international acclaim. And I wish Rajagiri Hospital all the very best on behalf of all the members of the advisory board, and my kudos, congratulations and heartiest felicitations to Father Johnson Vadapalli also for having led this institution so far with a great amount of care, concern, leadership, dynamism and drive, whatnot. God be with this institution for all time to come. Thank you very much.
Inspiring as always. Thank you so much, sir. Gratitude is the fairest bloom that springs from the soul. Henry Ward Beecher. With immense appreciation for his leadership and dedication to excellence in healthcare, I invite Dr. Gigi Kurutukulam, our medical director, to deliver the vote of thanks.
The last time the heart started beating this fast and the hands started shaking this much was in my 7th standard when I was asked to give an extempore speech in front of my English teacher. She was trying her level best to correct our pronunciation to pronunciation, speaking after Dr. Shashi Tharoor. But actually my poor pronunciation saved my marriage. Every marriage has these small fights. After one of these fights, I jokingly told my wife, I think if we go like this, it will end in a divorce. She said, it's not divorce, it is divorce. You learn that first, then we'll think about that. Good evening, esteemed dignitaries, distinguished guests, and dear colleagues. I pray for miracles to happen. I believe in miracles happening. And in my last 10 years in Rajagiri Hospital, I have witnessed countless miracles at Rajagiri Hospital, not only in patient care, but in every step of our journey. Today, as we witness the launch of the MRCP program, it truly feels like another miracle come true, a dream transformed into a reality for all of us. First of all, I thank Almighty for all the blessings and miracles showered upon Rajagiri Hospital. At the outset, I extend my sincere appreciation and thanks to Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Honorable Member of the Parliament. When I was walking through the lobby and I saw that picture there, I was reminded what will be the ideal word to use. He has what is called a knee-anamorphic personality. Knee-anamorphic means somebody whose physical and intellectual age stands still. You see them at the age of 20, you see them at the age of 50, you see them at the age of 60, knee-anamorphic personalities look the same. I think that will be the ideal word to describe Dr. Shashi Tharoor, someone who appears much younger than his actual age, both physically and intellectually, and a man whose intellect remains ever youthful, whose insights are timeless, whose vocabulary is profound, and whose dynamism defies the passage of time. Thank you, sir, for your presence today, for your words of wisdom, and officially declaring Rajagiri Hospital as the Center for IMT Program of the Royal College of Physicians of the United Kingdom. Am I right? Many times we say, thank you for all the trouble you have taken to be here with us today. This goes to Dr. Jane Wallace. Traveling almost 26 hours continuously, being the last person to cross the line and the last person to be cleared in the immigration, and clearing the immigration in 15 minutes and reaching the venue just 15 minutes before the program. A special expression of gratitude to you. Her presence underscores the profound significance of this initiative. This initiative holds profound significance for Rajagiri Hospital in two key ways. First, it elevates the standard of medical training, ensures that doctors who undergo training not only receive the clinical instruction, but also comprehensive training in patient interaction, medical etiquette, and communication skills, areas unfortunately or regrettably do not receive enough emphasis in the traditional Indian medical curriculum. Secondly, more importantly, this program will not only benefit the trainees who enroll in it, but it will also raise the bar for medical practice at Rajagiri Hospital as a whole. The principles of professionalism, structured training, and evidence-based clinical expertise will undoubtedly permeate throughout our institution, enriching our healthcare ecosystem. Next, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Father Johnson Varapalli, our Executive Director and CEO, whose vision, faith, and steadfast leadership have been instrumental in bringing this initiative to life. The journey of this MRCP program began as a small vision, a distant hope, and a distant dream. But sometimes, all it takes is the right person at the right time to turn a dream into reality. And that person was none other than Dr. George Paul, Emeritus Professor, who has taken charge as the Director of Internal Medicine Training and Head of Department of Geriatrics. His arrival at Rajagiri Hospital felt like a divine timing, and it was under his leadership and unwavering commitment to medical education that this program gained momentum and became a reality. Thank you, Dr. George Paul, for spearheading this initiative and making it happen. My sincere appreciation goes to Venugopal C. Govind, Advisory Board Member, and all the other members of the Advisory Committee, the Honorary Directors, and all the Reverend Fathers and members of the Executive Council. A special note of gratitude to the Relations Department under the guidance of Joseph Sir for their tireless efforts and in organizing and coordinating this event seamlessly. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the members of the media who have taken the time to be with us today. Your presence ensures that this momentous occasion reaches a wider audience, and we deeply appreciate your support in sharing this milestone with the world. Let us embark on this journey with the seriousness and dedication it demands, ensuring that the Rajagiri Hospital becomes a beacon of world-class medical training. Thank you. And last but not the least, we'll end up with the final concluding national anthem.
I think the Dr. Shashi Tharoor effect has seeped its way into everybody's speech and words today. Thank you so much for being here, sir, today. And thank you so much for that colorful vote of thanks that we've all heard witnessed today. Thank you so much, Dr. Gigi. To officially close the program, may I now request everyone to rise up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you so much, everybody. I request the dignitaries on and off the dais, the executive members, to accompany the guests to the doctor's dining.